Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sims 3 speed build. This would be the house that I was telling you about the past month that was the really large build that I was working on that took me quite some time to do. Mostly because I just wasn't spending a whole lot of time on it. Mostly. This house is going to be, it's actually for Aluna Island, so it's on a cliff lot as you can see. It's really large. It's got 5 bedrooms plus a nursery. I built this house because I have families actually that I have saved in my bin that have more than 8 Sims, and a house like this would really become handy. It also has 3 bathrooms. The house is kind of a farm style house. It looks smaller from the front than it does in the back because of the cliff. It's actually 4 levels high. It's going to cost you about 199,000 simoleons, and if you get it unfurnished, it's approximately 97,000 simoleons, and it's on a 40 by 60 lot. And as you can see while I am doing this, it's been a long time since I worked on a cliff lot that had a balcony or whatever you want to say off of it. I know how to do it. It's been a rather long time, so it took me a while before I finally started getting, remembering how to do it. It is a little bit tricky. You really gotta get your height right, which I tend to screw up all the time, and I think that's what the problem was. And one of these times, I don't remember. I ended up screwing up the height. I cut a lot of it out because it did take me a long time to do it. Mostly just kept messing up and not getting it the way I wanted it. So, yeah, and I ended up changing the porch and everything on it. Just because I was just changing things, trying to make it where I thought it looked better. And of course, I wanted it to go with the style of Aluna Island as much as I could, even though this is kind of a farmhouse style. I still wanted it to be very similar. Like the roofing is similar, a lot of the siding and wallpapers on the exterior will be similar. There is no other houses on this area to really base it off of. So there wasn't really a theme yet to put over on this side. So I just kind of came up with, my own and tried to remember some of the other stuff that was used in other houses previous in the island, so I could, still have it similar. And then the building next to it is just a fire station. I put it there because I like having the fire station job. I'm sorry, but some of the Sims actually for a Sim look really good in a fire uniform. So I don't like having just NPCs. I prefer as many of my townies to do the jobs as I can. So yeah, that just kind of plopped there. There is not a fire station in Aluna Island since the fire station did not come in the base game. So the island itself is just base game. So, but anyway, we're still working on the exterior of this house, as you can see. It is rather large, and I was trying to decide what it is I wanted to do exactly with it. I did not furnish the entire thing. There is some areas in the basement, and a small section, it's not real big, that you could add to it if you wanted. I guess you could expand. You might have to move some things around, but you can expand there if you want. Here I am just trying to decide what wallpapers I felt looked best. I think that's probably what I end up going with. The house ends up looking really nice, I think, when it's all said and done. The front yard area really makes you feel like you're out in the country with tons of trees, and it's almost secluded. You're like the only one out here, no other houses. Try to seclude yourself a little bit from the busy school and the fire station. I think it looks, I love the way this house turned out. Whether or not I'll ever play the game long enough for my Sims to make enough money to move into it is probably pretty slim, but it is one of my favorite lots for this world for sure. So, and as you can see, we're still working on the exterior. This house took a while. I don't really know what it was that took so long. I think it was just I couldn't decide what it is I wanted. I ended up speeding the video up more than I normally do. Believe it or not, my videos are usually sped up at 8 times its normal speed. I don't feel that I move the camera quite as much as a lot. Now, when I'm doing exterior, the camera does move a lot more during exterior stuff than when I'm decorating in the interior. Interiors, I tend to just set my camera somewhere and just kind of, go from there and leave it go. And then I move it when I'm ready for a new section. And it seems to help. But because of this lot taking as long as it did, even at 8 times, I still had 50 minutes worth in this video. And I didn't really want to put it in 2 parts, because 2 parts, really the second part really doesn't get viewed as much as the first part. And I felt that maybe you just don't want to watch 2 parts. Maybe it's just too time consuming, maybe. I'm not really too sure. So I sped it up to 9 times. So it's actually sped up to 9 times. So I apologize if a few areas here in the exterior seem to be moving a little fast. It's mostly just because we're in the exterior. Once we get into the interior, the camera will slow down. I personally hate it when the camera moves as fast as it does on some people's videos. It personally makes me motion sick. I feel like I'm in a car and I got car sickness or something, or an airplane and I'm got air sick. I hate it, so I apologize if there's anybody else that gets this problem. If it does bother you, just go ahead and maybe fast forward to the interior or something. It will slow down, I promise you. So I put this fence in not because Sims would fall off the cliff, but in real life you would have that fence there. That is a very dangerous cliff, and you wouldn't want your child or toddler to accidentally tumble over the edge and fall onto the rigid rocks and into the beach or the ocean below and die. So for realism purposes, that fence is there to protect your family so nobody gets hurt. So now we're moving into finally more of the plants. Like I said, there's a lot of plants here, and it will definitely give your sim the feel of being secluded and hopefully feel like they're more out in the country and not sitting right next to a school and a firehouse all in one. So I love the location. It's really far. I mean, it's like, I don't know, it's all by itself. This lot, I don't even think there's a second lot next to it. This might be the only one that James put out here. I can't remember. There was 2 of them, and of course one of them I had the fire station sitting on, and then we have this one, which was a larger lot. I don't know if there's another one or not. So as you can see, we're starting to get a little bit of the floor plan figured out. The master bedroom takes up the entire top floor. You have the master bedroom up there. It does not have an ensuite bath. It's off in the hallway a little bit. I decided to give the master bedroom a nursery instead. So, I mean, if you're going to have this many Sims, obviously you're going to need a baby, or, a crib for your baby and toddlers. So that's kind of what I decided to go with. This floor here is a floor that will have a little bit of the room that you can do exterior work. I had decided in the middle of it that I, of course, needed to do something in the back. I didn't want to leave it go. This time, the back is actually decorated and actually something is done with it. You have a little bit of a barbecue area. I flattened out the ground. Hopefully, hopefully a couple of chairs anyway. At least a few of them work. I hate putting those things in because half the time I can't get the stupid things to work anyway. But, of course, some more fencing just to protect your toddlers and children from falling over the edge. And then there's also a boathouse. Now, you'll see that I'll put a boat in it, mostly because I'm just testing it to see where I wanted it placed, and so I could kind of see visually on where it would sit. But the boat does not stay. I decided not to have the boat there. Maybe you want to buy your own boat, or maybe you don't want boats at all. Now, I have found that a boat that is placed in a lot, and when you first put the lot down, in fact, my One Ocean Getaway has a boat on it, And it doesn't always place where it's supposed to be. It'll be like all the way up in the air somewhere. So another good reason why I did not put a boat in. Don't really want it to be glitched out for you. So, but here's a whole bunch of rocks. I ended up sticking some more rocks. Again, another good reason for your toddler not to fall over and slice their head open on a rock. Yeah, I know that wouldn't actually happen, but you know, it looks better. It's aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And it's nicer looking. So now we're moving into a little bit more of the interior. So hopefully the camera will slow down a little bit for you. And again, I apologize for this speed. We're doing a lot with the recoloring, figuring out what colors I want to use. So hopefully once all that is taken care of, and all the windows and everything is all recolored, we won't be moving the camera quite as much. So hopefully here pretty soon. It don't seem to be bothering me too much right now. I don't know, maybe it's a full screen thing where it bothers me. Maybe minimize your screen so it's not quite so big or something. You know, I don't know. I don't know really why the movement bothers me, but it does bother me quite often. So there's a lot of videos, you know, I may start watching and then I stop watching because I just don't feel very good afterwards or during it. So, that's the other thing. I can't stand that Minecraft because of that. Oh my goodness. I've seen a little bit on it here and there. I don't even like the game to begin with. But the movement in that game, oh my goodness, it screws up with my eyes so bad. I cannot stand the way that game messes with my eyes. So, yeah, there's no way you'll ever see that game ever on my computer or in my channel. But anyway, I think the kitchen turned out cute. The main living area here, as you can see, is kind of on the small side. My houses, even though they tend to look really big on the outside, can sometimes be really small on the inside. But the house is pretty large because of all the floors. It's just not really wide. I've seen others that post houses and they look really nice from the outside or from the front view, but then when they go around to the side, the house is so deep in depth. It's really big as in how long it is and everything, and not to mention it's really wide to begin with. That doesn't even look realistic. Houses just aren't normally that massive in width and depth. They can sometimes depending, but you're really talking about, you know, different areas of, you know, that we don't really have that too much around here. But it just doesn't look right to me. So my houses aren't normally quite as wide or in depth as some. So the interiors tend to seem a little bit on the small side compared to what it looks like on the outside. So, but that is mostly that was the kitchen for the most part. There is an balcony inside the house, so I think that turned out real pretty. Like I said, I wanted the house to be very similar to other houses in the world. And that balcony and the windows actually came. I took that idea from when James did the cliff lot. I don't even remember what cliff lot it is, but it ended up being a two-part where basically he did the same thing. I'm trying to think. It's over on Seaward Walk, I think, is the road name, maybe. I don't remember. But he put in those big windows. I think they come from Supernatural, I think is the pack they come from. I'm not really for sure. But he did a entryway just like what you're seeing here, but his was, I think, bigger than what I used. Again, his houses were much more deeper than mine, so the floor space or whatever was quite a bit larger than what mine is. And I think the entryway in his was larger, but like I said, I wanted it to fit with the world, and since there wasn't anything over on this side of the world to give me kind of a theme idea or an architectural theme to base it off of, I was kind of basing it off of maybe other houses that were already pre-built somewhere else in the world. And that's kind of the house I was thinking of. The rest of it doesn't really match. Like, I think I put a laundry room in this house, and there's no laundry room in that he put in that one. So, and I don't think I used any store content. And in that house, he used the store content from a kitchen, and I don't even have that kitchen set, so I don't even know what it looks like. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I took from it, was the fact that he had those windows in the entryway. I guess I kind of, to go down to the bottom floor, it's kind of the same concept, I guess you could say, as what he used in the living room of that house, but I put it in the downstairs area instead and kind of dressed it up a little bit different than what he did. He tends to be more of a modern builder, so of course his decorating and stuff and exterior is going to be quite a bit different from mine, but occasionally I might take a little bit of an idea that I've seen from that, from a previous build. So I still like to put my own character and my own style into the home, so I try to messy it up as much as I can. As you can see, this is the master bedroom. It's not very big. Like I said, none of the rooms are large. And then you're going to have a rather long, narrow, awkward nursery. But really, you don't really need a whole lot for a nursery, actually. So there's a crib in there. I can't remember what else I put in there. I can't remember what I put in there now that I think about it. Oh yeah, right there. Okay, never mind. There's one thing from the store. I don't know why I put that changing table in there. I don't even think there's anything else from the store at all anywhere in this house except for that changing table. So why I put it in there is beyond me. I think it was just a matter of there's space over there that I really didn't know what to do with. So I kind of just stuck it in there. So I don't know. Everything will be listed. If you download this from the exchange, it usually lists all the packs or all the store content that you use. Occasionally, like the free items, for instance, that you can get from the store, I have noticed do not show up there, so I apologize for that. Once this is posted on MTS or Mod the Sims, I am required to link every single thing that I put in a house. Everything. Including a mod if I were to use a mod that changes something. I am required to link everything on that website, and which is one of the reasons why I don't update it very often. I'm rather behind now. I can't even remember the last house build that I even put on the website just because I don't feel like linking everything. The exchange is so much easier. I just share the lot and I upload it and I'm done. I don't have to do anything else. So here is the game room. I decided when you have a house this large, you're going to have a game room. So that is kind of what I have here. It's just a pool table, nothing spectacular. I went a little bit more modern in this area with the tables and couch, but at the same time I still brought in the warmth of the colors and a few other pieces of furniture and stuff that I will have sitting out. Just, it's a little bit of a mixture of colors. And as you can see, the staircase right there with the wall and everything, that is what I took from the other house. However, like I said, I changed it up a little bit because this house is a little bit more country. So the beams and stuff there, the supports by the staircase are more country looking and not modern, and just more country looking. The house is, kind of that way. So, and of course, here's your bookshelves, a small little reading, I guess you could say, area. There is a bathroom. There's a bathroom on every single floor except the main floor where the kitchen and the living room is. I don't think there's a bathroom there, but you have a bathroom on every other floor, so there should be plenty of bathrooms. Like I said, I've been able to run large family households with only a couple bathrooms. So even if you can fit more than 8 Sims in a house, doesn't mean I have that many bathrooms. So, but yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, I'm putting in laundry baskets. That'd be what I'm doing right here. So I apologize for the movement there. Just putting in some hidden baskets throughout. This is like, I guess you could say either a teen's bedroom or maybe even a guest bedroom. I ended up putting a piano in this room. I had decided, you know, when I was a teenager, I had a piano in my room. So that, in fact, it was an electric piano. That way I could hook up headphones to it and I wouldn't disturb my parents because they work third shift. So basically they worked at night while I was sleeping, and then I was awake, of course, while they were sleeping. So they had gotten me an electric piano. That way I could hook up headphones to it, and in fact I still have that piano to this day. I even have a video of you being able to see me play the piano somewhere on my channel. It'll be in the miscellaneous probably playlist. That is the same piano I had as a teenager, so it's getting up there in age for being an electric piano. But I decided to put it in a bedroom too because I had one when I was a kid in my bedroom, and since I didn't really have anywhere else to put a piano, I thought, well, we'll just put it there. This is again another bedroom that you could have as either a guest bedroom or a teenager's bedroom. It's kind of more directed towards girls' bedroom because of the makeup and the makeup table and everything. The Sims will be able to sit on the stool, so don't worry. I always rotate it so when they sit, they're not actually facing the mirror, because if you were to rotate it that way, they wouldn't be able to sit on it anyway. So and I apologize for this rocking chair. I am sorry. I am so sorry. I don't use rocking chairs because of the Sims' need to sit in it. They won't, whenever I have it in my game, they won't leave it alone. That rocking chair is like the enemy. It just, my Sims won't leave it alone, and they will go into that room and they will yell at another Sim because they're sitting in the rocking chair and they just can't leave it alone. So I am so sorry. I'm sorry I put it there. If it causes a problem in your game, just delete it. And if you don't want to go into build mode, if you don't care about money and you want to delete something, just put on your testing cheats and hit, I believe it's shift, and then click on the object, and you should be able to go to object and then delete. You will not get any cash for it though, but that saves you from having to go into the build mode if you don't want to do that just for one chair. So this is also another room for entertainment. You got a section here for watching TV. I did not put in any video games because, again, the Sims just won't leave the video game consoles alone. It drives me nuts. So basically that area is mostly just for watching TV. It's got a nice big screen TV, and then you have a little sitting area next to it by the back doors where you can just kind of sit and read your books and be in your own little world. And I try to decorate them a little bit different between the two areas, yet at the same time I still wanted them to flow nicely in colors. And then this is just another spare bathroom, or guest bathroom, I guess you could say. So nothing really spectacular about bathrooms. I try to make them look a little different, but as you can see, they always seem to be the same. Maybe a little bit different in colors, but they always seem to be the same. Here is a kid's bedroom. I put in bunk beds because, again, I expect this household, whenever I have it placed in a world, to have a very large family in it. So it has 5 bedrooms, but it can definitely fit a lot more than 5 Sims. I really don't know how many. Let me see if I can think here. 2, 4, 6. Well, we are up to 8 beds right now, and we still have another bedroom to go. So I'm thinking 10 Sims. I can't remember which kind of bed I put in here. Did I leave it as a bunk bed? I guess we'll find out. If it stays as a bunk bed, then you can get 10 Sims in this household. Which, to be honest, I'm not really too sure if that is enough for the one family I have. Oh well, they can sleep on a couch or something. But this is another bedroom. One bedroom is the other child bedroom is kind of considered more towards the boy child, I guess. And this is more like maybe a kid's a girl's kids room that's maybe transitioning into a teenager. She still wants some of her kid stuff, but at the same time she's starting to experiment in makeup, so kind of in the in-between stage. I went ahead and put a few more things in the exterior. I just felt we needed more. So we had this beach area, and I thought, you know what? Why not have a place for the Sims to do something down here? So now these are just rugs that if you put a... It took me forever to find that stupid umbrella. Stupid thing. But they won't actually lay on those. They're not actual beach towels. They're just there to look like it. But hopefully the ground is flat enough there that maybe your Sim will relax there and it'll kind of look like they're, you know, sunbathing in the beach. Although I don't know if the sun will hit that area very well now that I think about it. With that tree there, they probably won't be in the sun. I don't really know. So going through doing some more of the train paint. So we're probably getting pretty close to the end of this video, the speed build itself. Here are the exterior lights. Again, I apologize for the speed of this. This is crazy. I don't normally do 9 times speed because of the fact that it does start getting pretty fast. So, but I really didn't want it to be that long of a video. You do have a chess table and a place to paint, and as you can see, here is the exterior photos. That house looks enormous from the back because you can see all 4 levels. It looks huge, just downright huge. Now you'll see some of the pictures from the front. As you can see, it doesn't look quite as big. It just looks like a small little farmhouse. You don't even think anything of it, and then bam, you go into the backyard and that house is just enormous. Oh, and I'm not sure if I said earlier, that pond is stocked. There are fish in it, so your Sims can fish. It irritates me when there's a pond and my Sims can't fish and they have to go somewhere else to fish. Now, I grew up with a pond. Everywhere I lived there was a pond and there was always fish. So that just seems really odd to me that there's no fish in some of these ponds. So I always put fish in for you so you won't have to worry about that. And here are just some more of the screenshots of the interior. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you here so you can see the screenshots. I'll give you some music to jam out to, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.